Mr. Kendrick, you have been found not guilty on all charges. Mr. Stillwell.
Wow.
Can you please stand? You have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and not guilty on every other charge.
You got a second chance at life, young man. New lease on life. Hopefully you don't waste it.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are officially released from further service, and I cannot express the degree of thanks that Fulton County owes you for your service. Given the length of this trial, you have paid close attention this entire time, and I appreciate your devotion, as I'm sure do the parties in this case. You are welcome to stay for the sentencing, or you can return to the jury room. I would like to speak with you in just a moment in the jury room. If you all do want to stay, you're welcome to stay. Is there any objection to the form or the legality of this verdict?
No, I ain't no regrets. No regrets. You know what I'm saying? He did what he felt like he wanted to do. So he's grown. He made his own decision.
Have you spoken to him since this happened?
Yeah.
If so, what was his reaction to today's verdict?
Today? Nah, I haven't spoken to him today.
How is he doing?
He's doing great. He's doing great. Honestly, he's doing great. So he don't have a word. You know, we still fight. We still fighting out as well. It's not over for us. Huh?
What do you mean it's not over for you guys?
It's not over for us because I got another son and a grandson that was arrested about this case that I'm still fighting for.
You've been an outspoken critic of Fulton County DA's office. In light of today's verdict, what is? I got a message for them.
I still feel the same way about the DA office. It's a piece of shit.
Okay.
So, you know, we got to get those people out of there. If we want to continue to have justice, we got to get them out of there.
In case I take this to producer, can you say your name and self for me?
Big Jeffrey Williams, 1.
Okay.
All right, so as we see now, Yak Gotti and the other defendant were found not guilty in this big YSL case that the media has been running with for like the last 2 years, right? So a couple weeks ago, Doug pleaded out, took a plea deal where he admitted that he was guilty, and he's going to be doing 15 years of probation. So now Yak Gotti decided that he still wanted to go through with the trial, and it was interesting because from the outside looking in, Brian Steele, Doug's attorney, said he felt they were winning the case and that they shouldn't have taken the plea deal. And as outsiders, we were watching a lot of this unfold and thinking to ourselves, this looks very sloppy and it looks crazy the way that everything is played out. So Yak Gotti, still being in the trial, said to himself, you know what? I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try my hand at it. I feel like it's going pretty favorable. And he played it all the way out. And guess what? Now he's not guilty. He gets to go home. No probation. No anything. The other guy, Mr. Kendricks, he was found guilty of firearm possession. You know, he's going to do a little bit of time, but he's already been in there for 2 years. So he probably will get out something close to time served. Now, people are starting to second guess whether or not Doug made the right decision, because you have to wonder, should he have held out? Should he have listened to his lawyer, Brian Steele? And, you know, hindsight is always 20/20, right? But while Doug was going through that whole process, it was killing him to be away from his family, his kids, you know, not being able to live his luxurious life anymore, sleeping in a cell. He went through a lot during this process. So it's not surprising when we see that he decided he no longer wanted to roll the dice with his future if they were offering him something that he could manage, which is this 15 years probation, which for many people will seem simply enough, right? Like, all right, just stay out of trouble, stay out of certain places, stay away from certain gangs, certain type of people, you know, just keep your nose clean. But for someone like Thug, who is an artist and constantly in the spotlight, and someone who is going to be under the magnifying glass for the next 15 years of his life, he can't pop a perk. He can't do a lot of things that he has made pretty glamorized in his music. He can't live that lifestyle anymore. That's just not what it is. He can't stack. He can't say YSL in terms of like making it a gang. Nothing gang related. He can't do any of these. He has all of these restrictions in place for the next 15 years. So, did Thug do what was best for the situation, given he had no idea exactly how the jury would perceive it? Or was he doing the best thing for himself, right? Which is kind of in a sense of making him have to stay clean over the next 15 years. If he had beat this case alongside of Yak Gotti, who knows? He might be partying down Decatur Avenue right now as we speak. Who knows? But maybe for Thug's life, it might be the best situation. I was talking to one of my boys about this verdict after it came out, and he said, yeah, of course they got them off because the main fish that they wanted to get was Thug. So once he pled guilty, they didn't really care about these other two guys like that. They got the main guy that they want, and they're going to control his life for the next 15 years, which is a perspective that I think is pretty interesting. But of course, he's going to probably sit there and wonder to himself, especially if he slips up one time and has to do any amount of significant time or any time at all. In the back of his mind, he's probably going to say, if I'd have just rolled it out for a couple more weeks, I'd have got off scot-free and wouldn't have any of these restrictions on my life. So we know how the public is. We keep receipts. The minute Thug slips up, people are going to say he should have stuck it through and went to the jury, took the trial of the jury. What say you, man? Did Thug make the best decision? Or would you have stuck it out a little bit longer, listened to your lawyer, Brian Steele, and took it to the jury and see what happens? Everybody's going to have an opinion on it, but only one person had to live it and take those chances. And we saw the decision that he decided to go with. It's food for thought, man. Y'all do the dishes. What would you do if you was in Thug's shoes? Would you would have took it? And now you got to look on the outside. Now you like the SpongeBob meme. You got to watch them running through the streets having fun, and you staring through the vents looking angry like, damn, maybe I should have held out. Now he ain't got no choice but to keep his nose clean, at least for his sake. That would be the best thing to do. Bandana, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Till next time, I'm gone.